Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final call to be seated. Our Hall of Fame program is about to begin. Please take your seats. To open our show, here to perform for you tonight is Ovation, the premier auditioned student performance group from the Patel Conservatory, featuring musical theater students in grades 7 through college. They represent the Straz Center in performances throughout the Tampa Bay area. Ovation, take it away.
I think about that day I left him at a Greyhound station west of Tampa Bay. We were 17, but he was sweet and it was true. Still, I knew what I had to do, 'cause I just knew.
Summer Sunday nights, we'd sink into our seats right as they dimmed out all the lights. A technicolor world made out of music and machine. It called me to be on that screen and live inside each scene.
Without a nickel to my name, hopped a bus, here I came. Could be brave or just insane, we'll have to see.
'Cause maybe in that sleepy town he'll sit one day when lights are down. He'll see my face and think of how he used to know me.
I hear them every day, the rhythms in the canyons that'll never fade away, the ballads in the ballrooms left by those who came before. They say we've gotta want it more, so I bang on every door.
And even when the answer's no, or when my money's running low, the dusty mic and neon glow are all I need.
And someday as I sing my song, a small town kid will come along. That'll be the thing to push him on, and he'll go.
These hills, I'm reaching for the heights and chasing all the lights that shine. And when they let you down, you get up off the ground. The morning rolls around and it's another day of sun.
And now please welcome this evening's Master of Ceremonies, Fox 13's co-anchor of Good Day Tampa Bay, Russell Rhodes.
Somebody standing down there said, "How are you going to follow that?" I'm not dancing, I promise. They were great. Give them another hand, though. Performers from the Patel Conservatory. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 31st Annual Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame presented by the Florida Council on Economic Education. We're so pleased you're with us for this special evening of recognition and celebration. As we begin our program, please eat. We got salads, we got food. Enjoy. Tonight we have come together to honor another outstanding group of business leaders. We've got John Brabson, Ed Crenshaw, Judith Lisi, and Mark Mahaffey as the incoming Hall of Fame class of 2018, each of whom has had a major impact on the Tampa Bay economic and civic life. This year's event, Legacy of Leaders, reminds each of us of the commitment and dedication our great leaders have invested over the years in making Tampa Bay such a thriving region that's always evolving and on the move. It's great to have such a large and distinguished crowd here tonight, including so many previously inducted Hall of Fame members, to celebrate the leadership, accomplishments, and community involvement of the class of 2018. In addition to honoring these Tampa Bay leaders, we're also here to help support a very important cause that I know each of you cares very much about: personal finance and economic education of our youth. As I mentioned, the Hall of Fame is organized and sponsored by the Florida Council on Economic Education. The FCEE is a statewide nonprofit that trains teachers and students in free enterprise, entrepreneurship, economics, and financial literacy. Before we break for dinner, which will then be followed by our induction ceremony, we're going to hear a little bit more about the FCE from its executive director, David Boyd, and then we're going to have a few words from our 2018 event co-chairs, Ed Droste and Jim Furman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with David Boyd.
Thanks, Russell, and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Legacy of Leaders, the 31st Annual Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. So my bosses for the night, Jim Furman and Ed Droste, told me that I have the same amount of time to speak with you all that I gave our honorees tonight for their speeches, 5 minutes. So I'd like to share with you a simple message about the Florida Council on Economic Education. We at the FCE, our board, our staff, our thousands of educator partners throughout the state, believe passionately and firmly that in the battle against economic and financial illiteracy, there is no substitute for having well-trained teachers on the front lines of the struggle. That's what we do. We train teachers. There are a lot of other organizations doing terrific work in this area as well, and we applaud and partner with many of them. But we believe emphatically that there is no shortcut to truly providing our young people with the financial information and life skills they so desperately need to become productive members of the workforce, responsible consumers, and wise investors. The most effective way to reach them is through their teachers. In an increasingly complex global and financial economy, the gap between what people know about economics and personal finance and what they need to know is widening every day. Our young Floridians are increasingly responsible for their financial future, yet an alarming number lack even basic economic and financial awareness. And most parents are ill-equipped to instruct their children in economics and personal finance, and too many teachers, as well, are often unprepared to impart this essential knowledge. The Florida Council is uniquely positioned to help close this gap in knowledge and competence, and provide teachers with the professional development training so many studies and surveys tell us they so eagerly want and need. Our mission is to train teachers in the fundamentals of economics, free enterprise, and personal finance, so that they can prepare Florida's youth, our state's future workforce, to succeed in this increasingly complex and competitive economy. Our core principles are built around the multiplier effect. If you effectively train one educator, they will share this critical knowledge with thousands of students during the course of their career. Thus our motto, train one, teach thousands. Our unique educator training model helps teachers understand the material, shows them how to teach it, and gives them the hands-on learning tools to make it come alive in the classroom. So how do we do this? While the Florida Council may be a statewide organization, we understand that education happens on a local level. That's why we partner with and support 5 centers for economic education across Florida, each of which is passionately committed to empowering teachers in their local school districts with the content, curricula, and confidence to be effective and innovative economic and financial literacy educators. Our affiliate centers are located at Florida State University, Florida State College at Jacksonville, Miami-Dade College, Florida Atlantic University, and of course, the crown jewel of our network and one of the most highly regarded economic and financial education centers in the country, the award-winning Stavros Center at USF. During the last school year, our partner centers provided first-class professional development training in economics and personal finance to almost 3,000 teachers throughout Florida, all at no cost to the school districts and teachers we serve. We're delighted to have our partners at the Stavros Center with us this evening. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Dick Puglisi, the director of the Stavros Center, and his assistant director, Dr. Deborah Kosdras. They are instrumental in providing substantive and innovative training, resources, and programs to thousands and thousands of teachers throughout the Tampa Bay region over the years. Please join me now in recognizing their great work. As I've said, empowering teachers with vital training and resources to take back to the classroom and implement with their students is the reason to be of the Florida Council. In addition, the FCE helps educators bring these critical economic and financial education lessons to life by providing an extensive array of engaging classroom programs and resources offered to teachers, again, at no cost. On the screen, you can see our signature competitions and programs, including, of course, the very popular Florida Stock Market Challenge and our Financial Freedom Personal Finance Curriculum and Workbook. And each one is explained in greater detail in your event booklet. Last year, we were delighted to debut a very cool new classroom program called Rockonomics, a music video competition for high school students. Rockonomics combines students' love of digital technology and music with economics and personal finance. Students are challenged to creatively rewrite or parody their favorite songs, incorporating economic and financial concepts in a meaningful manner. We had the pleasure of judging the 2018 Rockonomics submissions just last week, and I thought you might enjoy seeing and hearing a little of what our first place winners came up with. And so, without further ado, we are pleased to debut for you here tonight the economic and musical stylings of our statewide Rockonomics champions from Collier County, Dave and the Florida Economers, with just a snippet of their soon-to-be smash hit, Fiscal Policy.
Not a campaign contribution or campaign expenditure by anyone. $130,000, 11 days before the election, in exchange for Stormy Daniels' silence back in 2006. $130,000 of his own money, Cohen claims, which today he said he raised from a home equity credit line. Nothing he told the candidate about, no money from campaign, just his
Sessions echoing tonight, but they want only whispers of some quiet self-correction. I'm taking off soon for my flight, hoping that I can figure out how to get some inflation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some policy advice or new economics. He turned to me as if to say, in the long run we will all be dead. The economy will crash without a fiscal breakthrough. There's something classical economists would never do. I cut taxes to increase AD. Gonna take some time because of inefficiency. Ooh. Demand shifts over to the right as increasing government spending helps grow the economy. Inflation is reaching new heights, sure as money grows with saving and consuming marginal propensity. Inflation has grown far too wide, frightened of the crowding out effect. The economy will crash without a fiscal breakthrough. There's something classical economists would never do. I raise taxes to increase safety. Gonna take some time because of inefficiency. Ooh.
All right, let's hear it for Dave and the Florida economers. Fiscal policy. So wasn't that great? It actually goes on for another 3 minutes. You know how those 80s soft rock classics go. But I hope it gave you a sense of our creative approach to economic education and bringing those lessons to life in the classroom for both teachers and students. Through funding opportunities like the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame, the FCE reached over 400,000 students during the past school year through our professional development workshops and classroom programs and materials. Thank you so much to the Tampa Bay Hall of Fame community for your ongoing support. And with your continued engagement in this increasingly important mission, we look forward to together empowering more and more teachers and students with critical financial education programs. Congratulations to the class of 2018 and welcome to the Hall of Fame family.
You've heard about the FCEE's impact on teachers and students, and as a nonprofit educational organization, they raise every dollar from donors like yourselves. The council receives no state or federal funding. It's events like this evening's Hall of Fame ceremony and collaborations with other local, state, and national partners that fund these important programs and resources. Here to tell us more about that connection between the Hall of Fame and the FCEE are the co-chairmen of this year's event. Please welcome to the stage two outstanding business leaders in their own right. We have Ed Drosty, chairman of Provident Management Corporation and Hall of Fame member class of 2012, and Jim Furman, president and CEO of the Furman Auto Group and Hall of Fame member class of 2001. Welcome them. Tell us the significance of this connection, this partnership between the Florida Council and the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame, Jim.
That's my job.
Well, we may have gotten off script there just a little bit, but it is. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Russell. Yes, the Hall of Fame class of 2018 joins a prestigious group of Tampa Bay business leaders dating all the way back to 1988. For 3 decades, this group of business champions has supported the work of the council in its goal to train teachers and ultimately students in personal finance and economics. Many of the Hall of Fame members here with us tonight have even served on the FCEE board over the years. The Hall of Fame recognizes the critical importance of training our future workforce on these key concepts before they become adults.
Let's talk about the selection process, could we?
Yes, it isn't easy, Russell. One cannot apply for induction into the Hall of Fame. You have to be nominated and then approved by a selection committee comprised of past Hall of Fame honorees, all of whom are exceptional leaders in the Tampa Bay business community. Former Hall of Fame inductees convene once a year to then discuss candidates at length and then vote by secret ballot.
Tonight's inductees were chosen for their character, community involvement, and of course, business success. Each inductee must exhibit all 3 qualifications in order to be considered. The Hall of Fame Selection Committee accepts nominees from all around the Bay Area, Polk, Pasco, Pinellas, Sarasota, Manatee, and Hillsborough counties. It's a highly competitive process.
So there we are, all these challenges, all these hurdles, these inductees this year, outstanding business people and community leaders, right?
Absolutely. Over the past 30 years, 185 Tampa Bay business leaders have been inducted into the Hall of Fame through this long-standing tradition. Guests can find that list of all of those prior honorees in their program.
So while you're reading your program, is finding that list, I'll continue. It's not only important that we choose candidates for the history of business success and job creation, but also those who help to build a community. Because after all, we are here to also support an important local nonprofit, the Florida Council on Economic Education. I'd like to take a moment to read a short letter sent to us by a teacher here in Hillsborough County. Ashley Bernacki teaches at Greco Middle School in Temple Terrace. Ashley's not a traditional economics teacher, but she understands the importance that these free programs make on her students and integrates entrepreneurship, economics, and personal finance into her life skills classes every day. So here's Ashley speaking to all of us. Dear Hall of Fame guests, I'd like to share with all of you just a small bit of my experiences working with Florida councils from a teacher perspective. The FCE is not simply a portal of ideas, content, and best practices. It's a challenge thrown down to every educator throughout the state. Do better, do more. Allow the students to shine through competition that directly impacts their ability to become functional members of society. Understanding economics is a game changer. If we arm the students with the ability to make rational decisions about their financial futures, we will have an army of wise consumers who will choose to buy cars, trucks, and motorcycles. My personal passion as related to FCEE is to develop free enterprise through entrepreneurship. I believe that the best opportunity to rise out of poverty is to create your own job opportunity. Inherently, my students living in poverty are more natural risk takers. How can you fear losing something you don't have? This is half the battle. My main responsibility is to help them develop their ideas, to create business plans, and to run classroom businesses. We make, package, advertise, and sell our products for profit. Many students are inspired to continue the businesses that we start during the school over their summer breaks. They realize that entrepreneurship does not discriminate by age. Many budding business professionals are just trapped in middle schooler bodies. Economics is now the lens through which I focus my entire school year. Without the encouragement and support of FCEE, the nearly 175 students that I teach annually would forego the economic experiences learned in my classroom. Imagine how many classrooms and how many students can benefit from the support that you give to this organization. The more outreach FCEE does, the greater the impact on tomorrow's business leaders. I sincerely hope that everyone attending the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame tonight continues to support this amazing organization. Your investment will experience compound interest in the form of a better informed workplace. Sincerely, Ashley.
That's terrific, Jim. Always important to hear directly from the teachers we serve and to get affirmation of the impact that we're making. Ladies and gentlemen, with your support for the 2018 Hall of Fame, Jim and I are pleased to announce that at this point we have raised $249,000 for the education of our students in economics, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and that is great. But I do believe we can do better and should do better. As a CEO and a business leader, the work of Florida Council is incredibly important to all of us. We have to have a financially educated population and workforce that understand how our economy and free enterprise system work and how to manage their own money so they can become productive employees, responsible consumers, wise investors, and good citizens, you know the rest. We can do better. There's I'll bet you $50,000 out in this room here tonight.
Good for you. $20,000, where are we at? There we go. Jim, I couldn't agree more. Now that I found out what I agree with. My favorite lesson from this impressive economic curriculum is a message in one of these programs, a very simple one. that when you buy something that you don't need, you're really stealing from yourself. If you buy something you don't need, you're stealing from yourself. Last week, I almost had my wife turned into authorities because of her 2 trips to the International Plaza last week for the crime of buying way too much than we need. On your tables, you will find envelopes which you can use to make a contribution to the vital mission of the Florida Council. Most of you have been very generous already, but we're asking you to please consider doing a little more, either personally or through your company, also tax deductible. And for those of you who are guests tonight, please consider joining your hosts in supporting this important cause. The Florida Council is really making a difference. I was going to have an incentive of giving away free wings and free bowling to everybody in this room, but Jim nixed the free BMWs for everybody, so we're just going to count on you to dig in and make a contribution if you can. Thank you. The FCE staff will be circulating the room during dinner, and you can wave them over to collect your envelope or simply drop it in the bowl on your table. We appreciate your consideration of this special appeal to help us to continue to train teachers and deliver these critical programs to our children throughout the Tampa Bay area and Florida. Now we invite you to enjoy your dinner, and we'll be back with the rest of tonight's Hall of Fame induction ceremony very shortly. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please continue to enjoy your meal as we resume our program. Please welcome to the stage presenting sponsors Claude Macari, FCE board member and managing partner of KPMG Tampa, and Paul Tash, chairman and CEO of the Tampa Bay Times.
Good evening. I hope everyone enjoyed your dinner in good company. Paul and I are here as representatives of our organizations, both presenting sponsors of the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. In fact, KPMG has been a sponsor of the Hall of Fame since its beginning in 1988. Back then, it was a black tie affair and would last long into the evening, and I've been assured that won't happen this evening.
KPMG and the Tampa Bay Times, along with so many other companies in this audience, share a great deal in common with the Florida Council. All of us are committed to empowering people to make informed decisions that improve their lives and their communities. As an organization rooted right here in the Tampa Bay area, we believe in investing in the prosperity of our region and our community. Here's one example. The Times has a robust newspaper and education program to promote all forms of literacy, including financial literacy, in the classroom.
As Paul mentioned, we're not only companies who understand the importance of this mission. A significant portion of the funding of tonight's Hall of Fame is from our presenting sponsors. We would like to acknowledge and thank them at this time for their generosity and their strong belief in the Florida Council of Economic Education. KPMG, Furman Auto Group in Splitsville, Raymond James, and the Tampa Bay Times.
We would also like to thank all the platinum sponsors for their generous support tonight. They are Ashley Furniture and Third Lake Capital, the Mahaffey Company, Allen, as well as our gold sponsors, the Allen and Company of Florida, Amscott Financial, the Bank of Tampa.
That must be Jerry.
Carlton Fields, Elon University, Florida Southern College, Kane's Furniture, Craig Scher and Stan Levy, the McKinnon Family Foundation, Pepin Distributing Company, Public Supermarket Charities, Simon and Associates Wealth Management of Raymond James, the David A. Straz Jr. Center for the Performing Arts, take a bow, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa General Hospital, the Ultimate Medical Academy, and the Vinnick Family Foundation.
I like the crowd. We'd also like to thank the long list of corporate table sponsors for this evening, and they can be found in the program guide at everybody's table. As you know, organizations don't survive without strong leadership, and the Florida Council of Economic Education, now in its 42nd year, is no exception. At this point, I would like to recognize the Florida Council of Economic Education board members that are with us this evening. We thank you for your leadership and service. Please stand when I call your name so that you can be acknowledged. Nat Dolinger, our chair. Barry Alpert. I can't see where you guys are, but there you are, Barry. Bob Busing. Linda Hall. I heard the Publix crowd over here. Linda must be there. Stan Levy. Stan somewhere over this way. There you are, Stan. I'll skip me. Dick Plagisi. There you are, Dick. Greg Scher. There you are. Jeff Simon. Art Tate. Art is somewhere. There he is. Okay. Bill Thomas. One of there. And Robin Warren.
Now to begin our induction ceremony, please help us welcome back our MC, Russell Rhodes, and our event co-chairs, Ed Drosty and Jim Furman.
Well, now the moment that we've all been waiting for. We're now ready to welcome the newest members of the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame, class of 2018. Now, before each honoree comes to the stage to be inducted, they will be first introduced by a short tribute video. First inductee came roaring into town in 1975 from North Carolina, launched a career that made him a mainstay of the Tampa Bay business leadership for decades. John Brabson has successfully led some of our region's largest company, People's Gas, Likes Brothers, Likes Insurance, and has chaired some of Tampa Bay's most important community initiatives and nonprofits, including Tampa General Hospital, the Tampa Bay Partnership, and St. Joseph's Hospital Foundation, just a few. Top of all that, this is a person who passionately embraces life, family, and the outdoors, and has never met a challenge he did not want to tackle head-on. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens as we hear a little more about our first distinguished honoree, John Brabson.
John is one of those people that seems to get the big picture and then knows how to roll up his sleeves and get others to roll up their sleeves and make a difference. And his fingerprints are all over a lot of the growth in this community and in this region, and he's been a game changer.
I've always valued John's judgment. I value John's commitment to his responsibilities. If John undertakes to do something, it will be done right. I've also valued John's forthrightness. He will tell you what he thinks about something, whether you agree with it or not.
John's qualities are, he's certainly a leader, and he loves a challenge, and he's very organized. And I think those three things really are the way you describe John as far as great qualities.
One of John's principal assets is his willingness to get involved and stay involved, and not just on a go through the motions basis. John gets involved to make a difference. He tackles the tough issues. A great example of that is his recent work as chairman of Tampa General Hospital in working with the USF Morsani College of Medicine to establish the kind of relationship and partnership there that is absolutely essential for both of those organizations to be the best that they can be.
John's one of these guys that he's got to be engaged pretty actively in most anything he does. So he decided that he wanted a new adventure, so he got his buddies together and decided we should go mountain climbing. So John and I and a few, 4 or 5 other of his friends climbed Kilimanjaro together. The interesting thing was that he picked the people that could climb it, so everybody made the summit, which was pretty interesting for that climb. It doesn't usually happen.
John's just one of those complete people that has a great family, great business career, and he's just a great person, loves life, sees the world. He's done it all, and John's one of those people that you look up to and say, I'd like to be like him.
John's best personal qualities are his accomplishments. He's a very accomplished person. I mean, when you see John on the golf course, for example, or you see him skiing, you say, oh, that's the way you do that. It just looks so good. It's the way things, the way those two activities should happen and do happen with John.
John deserves to be part of the Hall of Fame for the work that he has done, the leadership that he has provided to the business community and to the civic and charitable interests in our communities over the past 40 years.
John, congratulations. I know this is long overdue, and I'm just so happy that you've gotten this recognition. You've been one of the key people in this community for so many years. So thank you for all you've contributed, all you've done, and thanks for being my friend, and congratulations.
Congratulations on being inducted tonight into the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. This is so richly deserved, and I'm just so pleased to be able to congratulate you on this great honor.
John, congratulations on this fine and well-deserved honor and recognition. And thank you for all that you have done for our community, for our region, for all that you've given back. You've made a difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Brabson.
Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved.
Well, thank you very much to Dick and Hal and Chris for those very, very kind remarks. I'm not sure they're deserved, but I'll take them. Thank you. And also thanks to all the good work that the council does. None of us would be here, and there'd be a lot of people that would be a lot worse off had not the council done the job that they had done. I'd like to thank my family for their support. I got my wife, Tilda, here at 47 years. I don't know where you got all those pictures. You must have cleaned out every drawer in the house. My brother, David, is here. My 3 daughters are here, Anderson, Caroline, Julie, and I got 2 granddaughters here, Kennedy and Collins. You know, I'm
I'm a very fortunate guy, and I'm very fortunate to have had 4 very distinct and totally unrelated business careers in my 40 years here in Tampa. And none of them were planned, they just happened. And I just happened to be there at the right time. The first was very different industries, I might add, all of them were. The very first one was Peoples Gas. I spent 20 years at Peoples Gas, regulated utility. Second one, Likes Brothers in agriculture. Well, I haven't seen an orange that looks this good in about 10 years. I don't know where they got these. I wish we had a few of these. Mike, maybe we ought to take some of these home with us. What do you think? And then Likes Insurance for the last 6 years. And then finally, Tampa General, the healthcare industry. Now, Tampa General wasn't really a career move for me. It started out when I got asked to join that board about 10 years ago. But 4 years ago, on a fairly unexpected note, I got asked to be chairman. And boy, I'll tell you what, it sure feels like a career change. In each of these very different businesses, I found that there was one common denominator, and that common denominator was the people. I found that your employees, your associates, they just want to be appreciated. They just want to be treated fairly. They just want to be given the opportunity to advance and succeed. And when you create that atmosphere of fairness, of teamwork, and of trust, it's really amazing how people will respond. And I had a front row seat to watch this happen at Outback Steakhouse. I was on that board for 15 years. And Chris and Bob did a lot of great things. And they did a lot of things that helped make that really a success story that we're all very proud of, that it started here in the Tampa Bay area. But it was really about the people. It was the way they treated their people. And you know what? I'm getting to see that again right now at Tampa General. We have a brand new CEO, John Couris, who's here. If you haven't met him, I hope you'll get a chance to do that. John has come in, and in 6 months, he has really re-energized the entire Tampa General staff and the doctors and everybody associated with it. And he's doing it through empowerment. He's doing it through inclusiveness. And it's just the type of things that you want to see when you see somebody rebuild teams and rebuild an organization. You know, most of us, and I think I'm talking about most of us in this room tonight here, go through life just trying to do our job, just trying to do what's right, trying to have a positive impact on our families, on our friends, on our communities, and all of those around us. We don't do it for recognition or awards. But when those awards do happen, like tonight, we're obviously honored, we're grateful, and yes, we're humbled. So thank you again to the Florida Council on Economic Education for this most distinguished award, and also my congratulations to my fellow honorees. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew.
Our second inductee this evening is Ed Crenshaw, chairman of a giant Florida economic powerhouse and America's best grocery chain. It was a pleasure to say that, Publix Supermarkets. Ed came, I got to tell you guys, I love this story. Ed came to Florida from Texas in 1974 and began his Publix career as a stock clerk in store number 002 in Lake Wales. His obvious talents and dedication started a remarkable rise through the management ranks that ultimately led him to become president in 1996, CEO in 2008, and chairman in 2016. Ed's a true leader, nationally in his field, and last year it was recognized by the Food Marketing Institute with its highest honor. He's a passionate believer in education and community service, donates his time, treasure, and talents to a long list of national, state, and local organizations, including the Florida Council of 100, Florida Southern College, and the Polk County Museum of Art, as well as many others. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens as we hear a little bit more about our next honoree, Ed Crenshaw.
Ed is very, very approachable. He has the best people skills of any person I know. When you're talking to Ed, you're the most important person in the room. A firm handshake, a pat on the back, you know they're all genuine.
I have always been impressed with Ed's integrity, his kindness, his appreciation for the contributions that workers make throughout an organization, and how he treats everyone with that same level of kindness.
He loves people and people love him, and he's been very active in our community, been active with many organizations, and been active with business organizations across the country.
I have found him to be a major strategist, always able to see opportunities and to help set strategies to achieve, like for us, our institution's highest goals. Also, he's a futurist. He's able to think about what an organization is doing currently and to extrapolate from that what the benefits would be well into the future.
He has uncompromising positions. He knows what he wants. He fulfills his objectives. It's no surprise to me that Ed is being nominated for this prestigious award.
Ed is one of the most ethical people I know. He always wants to do the right thing. And as I've said before, he always makes the person that he's engaged with feel very important, and always tells the truth.
Ed is a man of integrity, honesty, the type of person that you can trust in any situation. He's smart, he's well-read, and for us at Florida Southern, he also understands the value of education and is really committed to doing everything he can to help our students, and indeed students throughout our region, achieve their full potential.
He's a great father, he's a great husband, and loves those grandkids. I think that's one of the reasons he decided to retire as CEO and become the chairman of the board so he could spend more time with them.
One of the most important things to Ed Crenshaw is his family, and that has now taken an extension to his grandchildren. Ed will drop anything and everything to be with his grandchildren. We all think we're devoted grandfathers or grandmothers, and I know I am, but I think Ed really takes the prize for, when his grandchildren call, he's there.
Ed is a great golfer. Few people know about Ed. He's also a great juggler. We're just lucky that he did not become a clown and he came to work for Publix, because he's been a great Publix associate for over 40 years.
Ed, congratulations on this well-deserved honor and induction into the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. You have made a profound difference at Florida Southern College in the lives of our students, and at Florida Southern, and especially the Barnett Business School. Thank you and congratulations.
Ed, congratulations. It's a well-deserved honor you're receiving to be inducted into the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. Best to you and best to your family. And thanks for all you've done for Publix.
Ed, congratulations for being nominated and inducted into the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. You're the consummate businessman, husband, father, grandfather, and that just begins to tell your story.
And please join me in welcoming to the stage Ed Crenshaw.
It'll be
Thank you. Now, I know y'all are going to be humming that music the rest of the night. You're not going to be able to sleep because you're going to be thinking about Don't Stop. My daughter, Michelle, who is here tonight, is responsible for selecting that music. But I have to admit that when I asked her for her help, she said, "Do you even listen to music?" I said, of course I do. I just don't know the words to the songs. I don't know the artist, and I don't know the titles of them, but I know the music that I like. But I've always liked Fleetwood Mac's Don't Stop. I think the song is fitting for tonight, as I think it describes, in a small way, the work that the Florida Council on Economic Education does for our way. This song is fitting because I believe young people don't typically think about tomorrow. But by educating them on economics and personal finance, and especially our free enterprise system, I think we can help them with their tomorrows. And your presence here tonight contributes to this effort, and it demonstrates your support of young people and their future. And we thank you, and we thank our generous sponsors for making it all possible tonight. Now, I have to also say to you that I'm not very good at accepting recognition and awards, and tonight is really no different. But it is very easy for me to say that I'm delighted, I'm honored, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm delighted to join John Bramson and Judy Lissy and Mark Mahaffrey in the Hall of Fame class of 2018, and I congratulate them. I'm delighted to join them and those recipients of years past, especially friends and family from Polk County that I've always admired. People like George Jenkins, Barney Barnett, Dr. Ann Kerr, and Ralph Allen. And that's just the beginning of the list. I'll never quite feel I'm worthy of being in their company, but I'm delighted and I appreciate the recognition. And I say I'm honored. I'm honored to have Hollis Hooks and Ann Kerr and Barney Barnett speak on my behalf. Now, I've never asked anyone to fib for me, but when I asked if they would share a testimonial tonight, I have to admit, I said, hopefully you won't have to fib, but you may have to stretch the truth, and that's okay. But seriously, thank you for your friendship and thank you for your nice comments. I'm also honored to have business associates here tonight. There's a couple of tables over there, both Publix and key suppliers of Publix. Please know that your presence is appreciated in more ways than you will ever know. Lastly, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for friends and family here to celebrate with me tonight. I'm grateful to have had my wife Denise at my side for 40 years, supporting me in all of my work at Publix, and for our children, Michelle and Brad, and my brother and sister and their spouses, and of course, my extended Jenkins family. Each of you have added meaning, purpose, and joy to my life, and I'm grateful for your presence here tonight. The Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame recognizes individuals for their business and their civic accomplishments. For me, it is the result of having the awesome opportunity to work for what I believe to be the best company in the world, Publix Supermarkets. It's a company owned and operated by associates who get up every day ready to serve their customers, not only for the food and food-related items that they need, but associates who voluntarily serve communities they live and work in. I can't tell you how proud I am of what they do. And what they do, I can assure you, is not easy, because it's early mornings and it's late nights, it's holidays and it's weekends. It's all those times when you and I are out doing some of the fun things, but they are in their stores, working hard, ready to serve you, their customers. I am a product of their work. So for me, tonight is for them. All 190,000 of them across 7 states. I'm grateful to them, and I always will be. It's truly been a fun evening, and I thank you for allowing me to express in my own small way how delighted I am to share a moment of fame, to be honored by those that I admire most, and to express my gratitude for all of those that made it possible. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight.
Well, our next inductee certainly epitomizes the expression, "There's no business like show business." Judith Lisi came to our community in 1992 from New Haven, Connecticut. Was that the out-of-town tryout, Judy? And has taken the Tampa Bay cultural and arts scene to heights unimaginable. When the Tampa Bay Performing Arts Center, now the David A. Straz Jr. Center for the Performing Arts, of course, first opened its doors in 1987. She's CEO of what is now the 5th largest performing arts center in the nation and the largest cultural organization in Florida. Her career spans more than 40 years as an artist, a producer, a presenter, an educator, and highly respected executive in the field. And we can't wait to see what she has in store next for the Straz. Please turn your attention to the video for some more insight into Judy Lisi.
She runs the Straz Center with great skill and is an icon not only in the Tampa community, but the international arts community as well.
With Judy, where do you begin? Integrity, honesty. She's tough, she's strong, she's smart. She dreams big and achieves her objectives. She loves Tampa and always wants the best for everyone she knows.
I'd have to start by saying she's relentlessly focused on the success of the Straz. She knows her business inside and out. She has relationships throughout the industry, not only in the country, but globally. And she is incredibly adept at managing the facilities. She has a performance in virtually every theater every evening, and she's great with people. It's hard to say no to Judy.
In the arts community, you need to get along with everybody and motivate everybody to do what's best for the center. She's able to do that. One of Judy's qualities is that she lives and breathes the Straz Center 24 hours a day, and she's supported by her wonderful husband, Ernie.
Well, one thing I would say about Judy is that it doesn't matter if Judy is talking to Lin-Manuel Miranda, the superstar of Hamilton, or a student at Patel who's just lost her tutu and doesn't know what to do. She treats everyone exactly the same. She's loving and kind and sincerely interested in helping you solve your problem.
She runs the Straz Center with great financial skills and the artistic insight which is necessary.
Of course, we're all familiar with the programming and we enjoy that. But it's worthwhile to think about the economic impact. The Straz has over $100 million of economic impact a year on Tampa Bay.
Judy was chosen for this award because tonight we're celebrating economic education. And since she has been here, the Straz Center has had over a $2 billion economic impact on this area. That's $2 billion with a B. I'm not sure people associate always the economic impact with entertainment.
Judy, we love you, and we congratulate you on this wonderful honor.
Judy, I could not be more proud of anyone who is getting this wonderful recognition than I am of you. You deserve it. You're amazing. You stand as a wonderful symbol of the best that Tampa Bay has to offer. And I want to congratulate you personally and thank you for your leadership and for your friendship. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, Judy.
Judy, 30 years ago, H.L. Culbreth, the founding chairman of the center, won this award. And all I could think about tonight was how proud he would be of you that you're getting this award, because he knew, as did all of the founders, that you would transform Tampa, that you had the ability and the insight and the creativity to turn this community upside down and make it a center for the arts. And we're deeply grateful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judy Lisi.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe,
Good evening, everyone. It's so good to see this room packed with wonderful people supporting the Florida Council on Financial Literacy. It's so important because I have to tell you, I started as an artist, and the last thing I ever thought is I would ever be getting an award for business, because that's not where I came from. And I realized that it would have been so much easier if I knew what I was doing, which I had no idea what I was doing. I had to learn it on the fly. So any way you could support this for other young people would be great. I would like first to thank my wonderful toasters, Ann, David, and Gary. They are, when you run a place like the Performing Arts Center, it's people like Ann and David and Gary who are the wind beneath your wings, because we can only do it if wonderful people want to help you do it. And there's many of you out in this room too who've been so supportive. I also want to thank my co-inductees tonight. I learned so much about them, and it's so wonderful to hear their stories and learn about them. Of course, I have to thank my family that's here, my husband of 49 years, Ernie Lisi, who has been such an inspiration to me, my son Joel, my sister Arlene, my best friend from 13 years old, Mary, and my colleagues from the Strass Center, many who I have worked with for the whole 25 years that I have been with. At the Strass, we always say we are a we, and I'm getting this award because of them and our great board who works tirelessly, but we have a lot of fun too, I must say. 30 years ago when the center opened, it was a dream of really extraordinary visionaries, many of whom are in the Hall of Fame, like H.L. Culbreth that Ann mentioned, William McGinnis, Chester Ferguson. They understood that if Tampa was going to achieve its potential and attract businesses and tourists, it needed to make a major statement and get on the cultural landscape. And so they built a world-class, state-of-the-art performing arts center that would be recognized both nationally and internationally. They were bold, they were courageous, and they were unstoppable. And I always have to think of what they did. It was a way of lifting Tampa up and saying, we are going to be a world-class city. And I must tell you, every day, our constant mission at the Strass has been to fulfill that dream and create the most exciting and dynamic performing arts center in the country. And yes, we're getting Hamilton, by the way, next year. We are dedicated to that dream every day through our programming, our education, and our community impact. And one of the things I think is that no matter what field young people go into, It's their creativity that they are going to bring to that field. And we try to do that at the Patel Conservatory and in our 46 partnerships in the community. Everyone should have an opportunity to see what their potential is and take that potential into the future. And now we are catapulting that dream into the future as we are about to embark on our new master plan. And it is so exciting. This will once again be a catalyst of transformation and change, not only for our community, but will again highlight Tampa as an international destination, a place where people want to come, want to live, and want to reach their potential. We'll be launching our plan next year, and I so look forward to revealing it to you in the near future. We're almost done, but it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be better than Sydney. It'll be better than Lincoln Center. It'll be better than the Kennedy Center. You just wait. So anyway, I thank you all, everyone in this room. I know many of you are supporters of the center. I know many of you attend our events. But I have to tell you, I can't be more grateful. And this has been such a blessing in our family's life. Tampa is our home now. We have been able to really explore and live our dream. And it's all happened here in Tampa, and it can happen here for anybody in Tampa. We so love this community, and I'm so grateful to be honored. I remember the first time I came to the ceremony 25 years ago when I first came here, and I was in awe of the people up here. Never did I think that I would be here, and so I really, really appreciate this, and I accept it on behalf of everyone who has been with me all these years. So thank you very, very, very much.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces.
Our fourth and final honoree tonight moved to St. Petersburg from Indiana in 1969 after having served as a lieutenant in the U.S. Navy during the Vietnam War. Mark Mahaffey spearheaded the enormous growth of a hugely successful family enterprise that changed the face of housing throughout Tampa Bay and Central Florida. Now serving as chairman of the Mahaffey Company, develops, builds, owns, and manages rental apartment communities for over 15,000 Florida residents. And as successful and passionate as he is about business, Mark is very actively involved in numerous community, academic, and arts organizations throughout the country and here in Tampa Bay. University of Notre Dame, St. Petersburg Museum of Fine Arts, and Elon University, just to cite a few. And of course, through his leadership and philanthropy, the beautiful Mahaffey Theater in downtown St. Pete is graced with the family name. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens as we learn more about Mark Mahaffey.
When Mark is your friend or your partner, he's probably your friend and your partner for life. He's very, very loyal. And that extends from his business activities to his personal activities to his community activities. He's just a very, very loyal person.
He has so much kindness and generosity of spirit that kind of generosity, I think, really informs a lot of his business work because it allows others to bring their best ideas forward. It allows others to really shine and make progress, and he wants to do well, but he also wants to do good. And I think that's something that is really special about him as a business person.
Mark is what I would call a 100% type person. Everything he does, he puts 100% of his effort into. That's being business, building 9,000 apartment units, operating 9,000 apartment units, his work in the community. He gives 100% in whatever he does. And that includes golf, or gin rummy, or bridge. You get in a game with Mark, be ready, because he's coming after you 100%.
Mark is very focused on whatever is on the top of his list. He's also, it goes hand in hand, I think, very disciplined and a good thinker, very deliberate, but once he makes up his mind about what he wants to do, he's on to executing. And I think that's served him very well over the years.
Well, when you operate a large company like Mark does, he has to have the tough-mindedness of operating a business, but yet have the compassion for the number of employees he has, and that he has to convey his personality throughout his company. And I think he does that very well.
I see that he has shaped and supported so many people in his life. His personal behavior, I think, again, so much informed by this generosity of spirit to which we should all aspire, that this is a guy who is not only very successful in business, he's successful at life.
One of the true tests of a great business and a great business leader is longevity. Mark and his company are in their third generation. That's no small accomplishment these days.
Well, everything Mark touches has helped the Tampa Bay area. The Mahaffey Theater in St. Petersburg is due to Mark and his family. His chairmanship of the President of the Fine Arts Museum, the growth and development of that is unsurpassed. His charitable work in the hospitals, everything Mark touches, he makes better.
I think his business life and his ethics and his character all are fused by this big heart and generosity of spirit, that it all, for me, it's sort of this whole package of someone who I respect and admire so much.
Mark, congratulations on this great achievement. Being selected to the Tampa Bay Hall of Fame is very noteworthy. Marianne and I are very proud of you. We're proud of our friendship, and we're proud of your accomplishments and all you've done for the Tampa Bay area.
Mark, congratulations on this award and recognition. We are proud of you and your accomplishments.
We are so proud of you. We're so proud of this accomplishment for you. It's a well-deserved honor. So congratulations on being inducted to the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame.
Now please welcome to the stage, Mark Mahaffey.
This is pretty close to coming out of the tunnel at Notre Dame Stadium. The closest I ever came was back when I was a senior and Notre Dame was playing somebody. And there were a bunch of us. We'd had a few drinks and we decided that we wanted to follow the team into the tunnel when they came out. Well, fortunately for us and probably others, the campus police stopped us and told us they did not think it was very funny. So fortunately, we did not end up in the bad graces of Father Hesburgh. Thank you all, and first of all, I thank you to my presenters, my toasters, Bill Bond, Ward Curtis, and Kristen Shepard. I really appreciate your remarks. It makes me feel quite honored and humbled, and appreciate your friendship and your relationship with me over the years. I'm very honored and most appreciative to receive this great honor this evening. I'm also honored to be included in the class of 2018 with John Drabson, Ed Crenshaw, and Judy Lisi. At this time, I would like to introduce my very important partner in life, my wife, Marianne, who's right over here at our table. Maisie, as she likes to be called, has put up with me and my shenanigans for close to 49 years. I would also like to introduce my son Tom Mahaffey and his wife Shannon, my daughter Kylie Tolberg and her husband Jeremy, and last but not certainly least, my daughter Colleen Carnes and her husband Jared. Marianne and I are very blessed to have our 3 children and their families, including our 5 grandchildren, living in St. Petersburg. I'm sure there's a lot of parents here in the room that are not as lucky as we are in that regard, so we feel very blessed. Also here are my 2 nephews, William Mahaffey and Dan Esterline, my niece Jane Ferguson, and our executive vice president of our company, Suzanne Gray, all important principals of our company. I would also like to thank my associates and friends who have joined me here tonight. As a surprise, and I have to really show my appreciation, but by telling you that I was completely surprised that I've been involved with Elon University for several years, being on the board of trustees, and 2 of my children are graduates, and I was quite surprised and quite touched to have Elon well represented here by the recently retired president, or should I say repositioned president, because he's not going to totally, Leo Lambert and his wife, and the new president, Connie Book, and several of the Elon staff. I'm very grateful for you coming to me tonight and being with me. I can't tell you how grateful I am for that. When I was reflecting how on earth did I become so fortunate to receive this kind of recognition from the Tampa Bay community and the Florida Council on Economic Education, I thought of the principles that I've tried to live by. When Marianne and I came down to this community to live, work, and raise a family in 1969, I wondered if I was making the right decision. First of all, I had already experienced working for my father, Tom Mahaffey, during my college summers, and I knew that my future in the apartment business, working alongside my father and my brother Jim, was not going to be easy. In those first 2 years, I certainly had some doubts about my decision. My father was a taskmaster, to say the least, and was a firm believer in that experience was the best teacher, an experience I got very early. My dad taught me so many things, but most important of all, he taught me to believe in myself, that integrity was utmost, and the truth so important. And the right decisions usually are the hardest and toughest, not the easy decisions, which many times are not the right ones. Our company has developed many apartment communities, especially in the Tampa Bay community, over 55 plus years. Our formula is not that hard and certainly not a secret. Build good quality apartments, keep the rents reasonably affordable, manage the apartments with discipline, fairness, and employ good people that have the passion and the pride to maintain our communities to the best of their abilities. Education has always been a priority for me, as I've been involved with several educational institutions. The Council for Economic Education certainly plays an important role in the education of our youth in our area, and we should all strive to support its efforts now and in the future. I am very proud to be among the many individuals who are members of the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. When I looked at the roster of names, I recognized so many people that I have admired over the years, namely Andy Hines, Gus Stavros, Jack Lake, Jack Eckert, Tom James, Bill McBride, Lee Arnold, Roy Harrell, Al Hoffman, Dan Blaylock, Ambassador Mel Sembler, and Governor Bob Martinez, just to name a few. I am humbled and again greatly honored to be now among the many individuals who have been bestowed this honor. You know, sometimes humility and humor come together hand in hand. For example, when I said to my wife, Mary Ann, a few days ago, in your wildest of dreams, did you ever think that I would be named into the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame? Mary Ann answered, first of all, you are not even in my wildest of dreams. I heard a groan from my table. What can I say? Thank you again for this wonderful honor.
Everybody, thank you. Jim, Ed, thank you all so much. Great job this evening. Appreciate it very much. At this time, we would like to ask all the Hall of Fame members, past and present, who are here tonight to make their way to the back of the room for the processional, please. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Florida Council on Economic Education, we congratulate each of our new Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame members, John Brabson, Ed Crenshaw, Judy Lisi, Mark Mahaffey, and their families. You're all groundbreaking Tampa Bay leaders, so deserving of this honor. Please, though, don't leave just yet. In keeping with our tradition for the past 31 years, we would like to introduce you to all of the great Hall of Fame honorees in attendance tonight. I'm going to invite each of them to join us on the stage in toasting the incoming class of 2018. And while they're making their way to the back, I'll remind you of the donation envelopes. Please give them to the staff or drop them in the bowl on your table. Thank you so much for your generous gifts. Now it's my privilege to welcome the esteemed members of the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. Like you, they're here to honor and celebrate our new Hall of Fame inductees. I hope I have the entire list. Pardon me if I don't. So please come forward as we call your name. Tom James, Dr. Peter Armacost, Steve Raymond, Jim Furman Jr., Barney Barnett, Ray Law, Sandy McKinnon, Alan Baumstein, Bob Sharp, Lee Arnold, Larry Morgan, Barry Alpert, Dick Beard. I'm working from two lists, I apologize. Sam Ellison, John Ramil, Stan Levy, Hilliard Ure, Sheila McDevitt, Jerry Williams, Dr. Judy Genshaft, Oscar Horton, David A. Straz Jr., Ron Vaughn, Dick Dobkin, Craig Scher, Stephen Dickey. A lot of you. All right. We've got Ed Drosty, Dr. Ann Kerr, Darrell LeClaire, Erwin Novak, Gary Sasso, Chuck Sykes, Tom Hall, Ralph Allen, Hal Mullis, Jerry Divers, Brian Glazer, Jeff Simon, Bob Dutkowski. We have John Brabson, Ed Crenshaw, Judy Lisi, and Mark Mahaffey joining. Come on down. Hey, Jude. How are you? We all up? No, we're not quite. Okay, we're going to do a toast here, but do us a favor. When you're done with the toast, stand there. They want a really good picture. We never get a good picture of this group, so I've been asked to have you stand here for a great picture. How's that? Is that what you wanted me to say to get the picture? Is that what you wanted? All right. Are we good? I'll move. I'm out. I'll move just as soon as we do the toast. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody have a glass? Raise a glass to the Tampa Business Hall of Fame. We thank you for your leadership, your dedication, your service, and for the wonderful example you're setting for the leaders of tomorrow. Please toast. Thank you. Hold for the picture. Hold for the picture. Got it? Got it. Well, that's it. Thank you all so much for being a part of this evening's festivities. Thanks to Ed Drossi and Jim Furman, our sponsors and donors, and all the volunteers who gave so generously of their time. Name badges, please recycle them. And again, drop off your donation envelopes in the bowl at your table. Drive safely, and we will see you again next year. Thank you and good night.